That's fine.
Okay, so we should be live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a September Stitch and Bitch, and it's finally fall, which means
Yes.
I can do this in public and not be the weirdo who's knitting at like 85 degrees.
Well, hey, I'm a weirdo with you.
I know.
I knit
It
like
will make me
three
know that I'm not alone.
I knit like 3 winter sweaters over the hottest part of the year.
I
I'm a little
know.
bit insane.
We've had a couple of work meetings in a park near me, and I'm the weirdo who shows up to these outdoor meetings in the park with a beach blanket and my knitting bag.
I mean, to be honest, that sounds like a good grand old time.
Oh my gosh. I want to be a grandma so that like my outside will match my inside.
Hey, COVID's already been giving me some gray hairs, so
Legit.
I feel like I'm already a grandma. Like I would want my nephew to just call me grandma, but I don't want to encroach on my mom's territory.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So what's everyone knitting today? Well, or sewing, I guess.
I'm doing something you guys have never seen me do before, which is a sewing project. So,
what are you making?
This is the Folkwear 209 walking skirt pattern.
I'm so excited.
Let me see if I can even show this thing to you. So I'm hemming it, and there are yards of hem to do, guys, and I've got pins everywhere, and I've already learned do not
So I'm hemming it
with pins in your bed. The pins will come out and you will find them in your bed.
That's
Don't
amazing.
do that. Don't be like me.
But honestly, hemming, like I used to think that hemming is the worst possible thing about sewing projects. But actually, when you have a podcast or a television episode or whatever going on, it's so relaxing because you just do this monotonous thing, so you don't have to think about it, you just do it.
Yep.
Also, I'm so glad that our group is fully embracing the dark academia.
So does this mean I have to finally watch it? If everyone else is. Dark Academia? Oh, you mean as a style?
Yes.
I was thinking, what's the little witch academia one that's on Netflix?
Little Witch Academia, and yes, you have to watch it, but not because it's necessarily dark, but because it's just so chill and warm and cozy and wonderful, and it's all about female empowerment and female friendships.
It reminds me of Worst Witch whenever I see it.
Yeah. It is very much inspired by Worst Witch.
Okay.
But it's like very humorous, and I love that series so much. And it also has like sometimes, anime series are fairly homogeneous just based on how Japan is very homogeneous. So usually you don't see a lot of like ethnic diversity or variety in anime. But in Little Witch Academia, there's actually quite a bit of variety, both in main characters and background characters. Like you see a lot of like people of color and stuff like that, which is like back when I saw the series, it was so interesting to me because you don't get to see that very often in anime. So it's just...
Who is that? Hi. So Joe is saying in the comments that he has had scattered white hairs for the last few years, and I don't care how many gray hairs you have, Joe, because you have a perpetual young face. I don't know where you found the fountain of youth, but
I mean, I am forever bitter about the fact that because here's the thing, my dad had his hair went gray already when I was a kid. So I've only ever known him as being white-haired.
Gray-haired.
Yeah. And like white-haired. Like he went so gray, he went like platinum white, like I used to call it like his moon hair because it was so like silver. And I always wanted that. And then I figured out that I actually have my mom's hair texture, and my mom has like this stark black thick hair that's never going to gray. And I'm like, I will never have my moon hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad still like his beard went white, but he still has really dark hair. And
That's
so
funny.
there's a chance that I could get that, but there's also a chance that I'll end up like my mom, and she started going gray in her late 30s, early 40s. But she was like actually happy about that because she works in university administration, and she was like one of the youngest people in her office, and she's like, maybe they'll actually start taking me seriously now that I have gray hair.
My dad was fully gray by the time he was 35, and you can't tell because the screen and the camera are actually very forgiving, but like all in here is like speckled through with gray.
I don't know. Like I know that some people get very anxious about gray hairs, but I just feel like you've unlocked some hidden power.
You've watched too much anime. It's because gray hair is finding your magic.
I know. Gray hair is magic. What anime has taught me that whenever you have like super fancy hair colors, that means you're a main character.
So by super fancy, you mean red hair and silver hair?
Also, every variation of rainbow.
So what are you guys working on?
Let me get to the end of the row and I'll show you, but I'm currently using my Star Trek yarn to make the colorist shawl. It's for one of my friends at work who is the building manager for our library. So she's been dealing with a lot of stuff with getting the building reopened for students and faculty. So I'm making her something pretty. But this is what it looks like so far.
Ooh. That turned out way prettier. Like I saw it and I liked the color scheme of that, but I was a little skeptical at first.
I really love that texture.
Yeah, and
so it looks and feels. I don't know how it feels, but it looks like something that feels nice to the touch.
Yeah, and the pattern that I'm using is specifically designed for variegated yarn.
Ooh.
So the way that you like will slip stitches and extend them helps break up pooling. And like aside from the setup rows, it's really, really simple to do. So I've been working on it during work meetings.
So I am working on the Scarf of Doom, as always, because like I have a vision. I want it to reach my like hip area on both sides once it's wrapped once around my neck. So this needs to be freaking long.
Yeah, that is long.
And I am slow, but I also think that it's nice to work on it during the live streams, because I've noticed that if I try to work on the ranunculus or any of the projects that require me to actually pay attention to the pattern and the instructions, I can't do it at the same time as talking to other people or listening to anything. I need to be fully focused on
doing it.
Yeah.
Counting and stuff. I'm working on, it's called the Witching Hour sweater. And it's like got a really pretty, almost like runes kind of situation going on, followed by bird skulls. And
I saw that.
I'm at the very top of the bird skulls. I'll see about dropping a picture of the pattern in the comments for everyone because it's super cool. And I'm hoping I can get it done by end of next week if I try really hard and commit to listening to all the audiobooks ever. So I can have it in time for at least a couple weeks of Halloween. Not that I wouldn't wear it all the time because I would.
So I also have like a project that I want to do, the witch hat, that I think I've shown it in our group chat at least once, but it's basically like a knitted witch hat that needs to be made from like 100% wool, and then you put it in the washing machine and you felt it, and it's gonna look amazing. But I'm waiting for my order of yarn for that to come in.
You should. I've been thinking about doing a witch hat as well. But here's the thing. Did you see the giant 12-foot tall skeleton that was like floating around Twitter? Okay,
No.
We hunted him. We didn't find him, but we've been hunting him through all of the Home Depots in the area. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to order him online if I can find him.
You're going to put a skeleton on your yard?
Yeah, like a 12-foot tall one. Like it's gonna. I'm hoping it. I've saved. So I'm one of those people who takes every single like loose dollar bill that I have and I just put it in a box, and then I have gotten enough now for the giant skeleton. And I'm thinking that we all need a little joy in our lives.
Yeah.
So I've been.
Is it like inflatable, or is it like one you have to like construct?
I mean, like you have to like assemble it, but he's like made out of like a super heavy duty acrylic. Let me see if I can find what he looks like. But he's kind of amazing. It would be, and the best part is my partner found him on the internet, not me. So it's like technically his idea. Here, let me see if I can screen share quick.
Yes, please screen share the.
Can you see him?
Oh no! That's huge.
I know, isn't he fantastic?
Yes.
I was like, we could dress him up different every year. And like, we only have a one-story house. He'd peek over the top easy.
You could also like put him up for Christmas and have him in this Jack Skellington like Christmas outfit.
Right? It has given me quite a bit of joy to even just think about it. I have to find him. He's not in any of our local Home Depots. I know because I called all of them.
Oh no.
So I have to figure out how to get him.
Also, I would be so upset if someone came in your yard and stole it.
It would be really hard to steal him. He's a giant.
Well, we have a saying that there's no such thing as like impossible, just like
true. So yeah, that is the sweater I am working on, and also a tangent about giant skeletons and how they're amazing.
I mean, I'm really envious about your like all of the Halloween decorations. Like I don't care about Christmas decorations or anything, but every time I see American and UK book bloggers and booktubers like decorating their shelves for Halloween and like going to the various stores to get Halloween decorations, I'm like, you guys got so much cool stuff.
It's the only time of the year I do home decor shopping.
I want that. I want that in my life.
I'm just really, I'm so antsy though, because on my sweater at least, I just want to get to the big block of the skeleton eyes so that it starts to look like a skeleton instead of just like, look at this curvy bit I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But color work is so nice because you can actually see your progress. Like it's kind of like back in the day when you had like dial-up internet and your picture would just slowly download, like and then done, and then
I
your
do like
browser
that
would
part about
crash.
it. I've realized I really, really like doing color work. Color work and then anything with like an interesting stitch motif.
Yeah, I'm starting to get more into like the texture patterns and lace and stuff because you get that same thing with lace charts where it's just like keep going until you can see the pattern developing.
Yeah, and then you feel very accomplished once you're at a point where you can see like a part of it. You're like, look what I did.
At this stage, like one of my most annoyed things is that because with the ranunculus sweater, I know that the next thing I have to do is the yoke, but I can't remember exactly which row I'm at because I was stupid and didn't mark it in any way. So now when I go back, I will have to count each individual row to see where I am. So that I don't accidentally do a stupid and do the wrong row, because as you know, I have started and restarted that project so many times. And now it's just sitting in my closet, and every time I open my closet, it just stares at me, the lace and everything. It just looks at me like
why don't you love me?
Yes.
I was gonna wear my ranunculus today, but then my mom is coming up on Friday, and so I'm gonna wear it when I see her. For no other reason than that she will tell me that I made a thing and that she's impressed with me. Is anyone reading anything good right now?
I want to know what Rachel told us what she's making. She's hemming the hem. Has everyone talked about what they're making already?
Oh, I think we haven't heard from Dot. You what?
Oh, okay.
Speaking of texture patterns,
Ooh.
sock.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
That's really pretty.
It's really cool.
So Dai's working on the scarf. Or the shawl, yeah. Okay. I think, yeah, we've talked about it. So what's on the docket reading-wise?
Sisters of the Vast Black. I'm still reading it. I don't know. My September has been really weird reading-wise because I've just been flying through these heavy academic non-fiction books. But when it comes to actually reading fiction, it's just like suddenly everything slows down.
That's fair. That happens.
But I've been enjoying Sisters of the Vast Black. I'm in the last fourth. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. No, those are not yours. No.
Are you sure? If it isn't in the house where the cat lives, it's probably the cat's.
Yes, true. But these are like heavy duty, fatty food for Hedda. So I'm gonna put this away because this one doesn't need any more girth. Look at him. Look at him.
He's just fluffy.
I used to think so, but now he is like so dense in the tummy area and so heavy. Okay, don't show your butt to everyone.
Is it really a cat crashing some sort of video call if they don't show their butt to the camera?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Hey.
Ooh, Shannon, you read Invisible Kingdom? I love that so much. I can't wait for volume 3.
I've been meaning to pick it up.
Sorry, by the way, if you can hear the cat growling in the background. That's just Grand Meow Hedda. Okay.
Is she getting cranky with Tesla?
Yes.
As per usual.
I think my cats are being sook somewhere because Luke is not allowed in my closet. And actually, I think Leia's hiding under my coffee table. She like will army crawl under there because there's not a lot of space and like coffee. Hedda has a lot of opinions today.
Yeah, like no one's even here anymore, and she's traveling. she just to like lay down here, and she's just like at nothing.
It's on brand.
I was actually like thinking about. I was thinking about video ideas. And one of my video ideas was to do a recommendation video based on the personalities of my cats. And I was like filming B-roll footage of each individual cat so that I can have like a sort of show and tell of what they're actually like. And when I started filming Hedda, she immediately started growling and hissing at me. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is perfect. You already know what to do. Like method acting at its finest. You're doing great.
I did something really wonky with this. Shit.
Does anybody know if there's supposed to be like a sequel to The Sisters of the Vast Black?
I don't know. I know it feels like it's kind of set up for it, but I don't know if they're actually going to get one.
I just felt like there were going to be more stories in that universe. Like maybe not a direct sequel, but something else. Like
you know what would be really interesting? I want to know about the Buddhist temples that are going around in space, or the atheists, because there was this whole idea that there are so many various religious sects and non-religious sects going around space, spreading the word.
I mean, it seems in keeping with just like human behavior.
Yes.
Now it's thundering outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
nice.
Oh yes,
some nice thunder rolling in.
So I picked up a Sherry Priest novel. I think it's actually a young adult novel by Sherry Priest. It's called Agony House, about a girl who moves into a house, and of course the house is haunted. That felt thematically appropriate considering it was fall, and I was really excited for fall. Though granted, the book I am looking forward to most this month is going to be the new Teen Kingfisher.
Yeah.
I saw it mentioned on so many people's anticipated lists that I caved and pre-ordered it. And it's gonna be the first Teen Kingfisher that I've ever read.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. What a place to start.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my Halloween read.
Definitely.
I still maintain that we should just do a video chat so that we don't have to read it alone in case it's too scary.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh gosh, shit.
When I read the Twisted Ones,
I
did make the mistake of reading that in the evening, like late at night. And there was one night where I had been reading it and I had to walk home in the dark from my parents' house on a street that's right next to a park with a lot of trees, and there are no street lights.
The scene in the Twisted Ones where there's the monster and it's outside her window.
Oh, the tapping on the window.
Yes. Oh,
I haven't.
it was so good. Huh?
I haven't read it. I don't really do horror novels ever.
Not
Me neither. Me neither.
spoilery about it, but there's the probably the scariest scene in the book for me was the one that takes place in broad daylight, where the main character's out walking in the countryside or whatever, and she comes across the thing.
Yeah.
And it like freaks her the hell out, and she races back into town, and she gets like the local cop, and he comes out and they can't find it again.
Yeah. I know exactly what part you're talking about. And yeah, that was also freaky.
So-
So the tapping on the window was what got me though.
Yeah.
That for me was like,
I feel like tapping on anything, like when you like any kind of noise that you are not like used to hearing or you don't expect or something, that kind of
But the
raises the tension.
tapping in the book, though, it's that she's heard it before. She's heard it multiple times. And then she realizes what it is.
was.
So my personal relationship with horror is that I am a complete wuss. Have any of you seen The Orphanage? It's a Spanish horror movie that was produced by Guillermo del Toro. And
yeah.
I know what you're talking
that
about.
was like his first one, wasn't it?
yeah, so we watched that in the movie theater. And after we got home, I was so scared that I had I was living in with roommates and stuff. I had to sleep next to my roommate in her room, in her bed, because I was so scared I couldn't sleep in my own room. Because that movie plays with you. It has all of the tropes, like ghost children and like reality warping and whatnot. So I was like, I can't do this. But I'm a scaredy cat anyway. Like I can't watch the first season of Stranger Things without having like a blanket covering me and Vold sitting next to me telling me what's happening.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Also, I'm currently stuck in the episode of Community, the Halloween special, where everyone turns into zombies.
I love that episode.
Yeah, I can't watch it. I'm too scared. And then Vold is like, just skip it and move on to the next one. And I'm like, no, what if there's character development and then I don't know what happened?
There actually is, because that's season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, there actually is, like, you're right about, because there is some stuff that happens in that episode that like plays out through the rest of the season.
Yeah, but I'm too scared to watch it. Like I can't. I'm like, there's nothing in like I just can't do zombies. I can do like psychological horror. I can do body horror. I can't do zombies. Like that's like my threshold of like nope. Nobody knows.
Hard pass.
Yeah. So wait, Brie, what are you reading?
Agony House by Sherry Priest. It's a haunted house book.
Okay.
But I am also, that's what I have physical right now. I took quite a big chunk of time just away from everything. And so up on my list for actually like listening to stuff is the new Susanna Clark.
Ah, yes, Piranesi.
Yeah, I know
From the library.
and Jenny really, really liked it. And then Charlotte like just finished it and really enjoyed it as well.
I hear it's actually very short. Like it's not as like it's not Greek like John like
So
Strange and Moral.
I heard an interview on NPR with Susanna Clark about this, and I guess she'd had some really major serious health stuff. And that like this like she was like I guess unable to like write for quite a long time, and this was her like easing herself back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting another like 1,000-page tome, and then Thomas did his review, and he's like, it's less than 250 pages. Like, whoa.
I mean, she has another one coming out, right? Like next year or so.
Yeah.
When Piranesi was announced, I believe it was a 2-book deal. So I don't know when the third one or the next one's coming out, but it was included in that.
I gotta go look that
up. I'm still hoping that I can, like, if I can finish Sisters of the Vast Black today, I still hope that I will have time to finish Nova by Delaney, because I want, like, I don't want this to be the second year in a row where I have a Delaney on my TBR and then for some reason I can't get around to reading it. It just feels like a failure on my part. And it's not due to not wanting to read it either. It's just that like I don't know where my time goes.
Well, I feel like, so I've only read Babel 13, but I feel like with that one, I had to really carve out some time to focus on it just because it was really, there was a lot in there and it wasn't something that I could read on my commute. Like it was definitely something where I had to like really carve out the time to read it and not just read it piecemeal.
Yeah, last year I read Babel. I read about half of it, and then I had to return to the library. And then they discontinued it at the library, and they don't have a copy of it anymore because apparently the copy that I borrowed was pretty busted already. So this year I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it and borrow it because we're reading it for a book club I'm in, and I actually had to buy my own copy of the paperback because my library doesn't stock it anymore.
I should see if my library has Invisible Kingdom.
It is on Hoopla if you have access to Hoopla. Both the first 2 volumes are on there.
Okay.
They added them pretty quickly.
My library has Invisible Kingdom, and I'm currently 12th in line for the first volume.
I need to actually turn in some books before I put stuff on hold because no, I still have like a bunch of the books that I had when isolation started and they're technically very overdue. I just haven't been to the library to turn them in.
Yeah.
Do you have you don't have library fines, do you?
Right now, well, normally we do, but they're not enforcing them right now, and our public library isn't physically open right now, and so what they've been doing is book delivery if you can't get to the building to do like drive-by checkout.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I do need to swing by and probably drop things off when I drop off my ballot later in October.
It's actually interesting, like our systems have basically gone full back to normal, but I don't know how long that's gonna last because there's been like spikes again. Yeah. So, you know.
All of the library systems here in town opened up again for pretty much normal business, and then they've had to sporadically close individual branches or various services when staff members tested positive. So,
yay!
Huzzah!
Yeah, the library at our university, as I mentioned, is reopening for limited hours, and they're only opening 1 floor, and you have to like reserve time to be in there. But I'm still worried, even though the university is going 90% remote, aside from like labs and field work, like there's still enough students back where
it could be an issue.
Yeah, it can be an issue.
Yeah, my university is like 100% remote, like completely, which is interesting because my friend who is in another university, and she told me that, our university is actually like holding classes for like freshmen as normal so that they can have the freshman year experience of like, you know, hanging out with other students. But they also have to like wear masks in classes and not sit next to each other. So I'm like, what kind of freshman experience is this going to be anyway?
That's the same thing.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
work with I coach college mock trial, and my students are back they're on campus. I think they're doing a hybrid model. And I was like, yeah, here's what's going to happen. We're not doing our practices in person right now. No, sorry. I like you. Not a thing.
Yeah. I think the
mean,
only
health
reason
first.
you're not 100% remote is that my university is like the science public university, and we also have like the vet school and everything. And
Yeah.
so there's something like some labs and some things that you just can't do
Remotely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything else, like as much as we can, we're doing remote. And our union actually got a really big concession from the university saying that we aren't obligated to start teaching in person until there's a vaccine.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
it was,
That's a big one.
yeah.
That's big. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to talk too much about it, but like considering what's happening at some of the other universities in the state, like the fact that we got that and the fact that the university actually agreed to it is really big. And I'm very grateful that I work at my university and not the other big public university down the road, because they've been trying to screw over their faculty union like to a significant degree.
Often surprised.
So yeah,
I mean,
if you have a union, join your union. They're very
yes,
important right
unions are great. Unions are great.
now. But yeah. Rachel, what are you reading?
I am about a third of the way through Unconquerable Sun by Kate Elliott, which is really good, but also turning out to be very different from what I expected. It's like multi-POV, and I did not realize it was going to be, and it's thrown me off a little bit. But I'm getting more into it. It's described as like a gender-flipped Alexander the Great space opera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And I don't know enough, or I don't remember enough of Alexander the Great stories to me get all the references. So I'm not really reading it for that. But it's very interesting, and it's basically a lot of like epic court politics and, you know, space empire wars. And I'm trying to figure out if the four-armed aliens are actually aliens or if they are like gene-modified humans. I'm not sure on that one yet. And then I've started reading Or What You Will by Jo Walton, which is her new novel. And that's another one I'm not sure what's going on in it. It's the one where there is like about a fantasy writer, and she's an elderly woman, and she's got this other thing in her head, and it's not clear what it is. I wonder if it's like a fictional character that's come to life in her head, or it's like a spiritual godlike entity. I really don't know, but it's like trapped inside of her head, and it was really kind of weird at first, and then it sucked me in, just the way that it's written. And I kind of feel like it's a little autobiographical, because when you start reading it, the author in the story is talking about writing a Florentine novel. And I'm like, oh wait, is this Jo Walton talking about how she was writing Lent?
Interesting. Sounds very meta.
Yeah, it is. And so yeah, I really want to get back to that, but it's going to take a lot of brain power, and I haven't had enough concentration ability this past week to read much of that or Unconquerable Sun. So very interesting. But speaking of Delaney, going back to what people were talking about before, Shannon said that Sush read Nova this month. For people who want to get into Delaney and you want to read something short, I recommend Empire Star. it's kind of got one of the repetitive structure of Dahlgren, but not 800 pages long. And it's also like his earlier space opera sci-fi, less like his later intellectual fantasy. And I believe it was reprinted in People of Color Destroy Science Fiction. I think Uncanny did that issue.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. So yeah, it was reprinted in that, so it's pretty easy to find now.
I just heard the grand meow growling in the background again, like she's shouting at something.
Fair.
I'm just trying to ignore it.
Yeah, I don't know where my cats went off to, aside from, yeah, Leia's under the coffee table. I see her tail.
Oh, I did the unforgivable today. I closed the door.
Oh no. How could you?
Are we taking bets on whether they're both cats are sitting right outside the door?
They
Going,
are all
let me in.
right out the door.
Soren is gonna be so heartbroken. Like
Soren
you've
wants to try
literally
to
broken
sit
his
on
heart.
this chair, but he's too fat to stay on it. So he keeps trying, and then he falls off, and then he tries again, and then he falls off again. And I was like, I don't know if either of us has the energy to deal with that right now.
Oh,
Poor
baby.
Soren. I mean, Hedda has this weird thing, like she wants to like climb on top of my chair all the time, but she doesn't like to actually sit there because it's too thin. So she will jump on it, kind of flail around for a bit, and then jump on the desk, and it's distracting.
Should we test Rachel's theory? Okay.
Go and
Also
open
might
the
give
door.
the bunny a heart attack because that is he and Bunny are scared of each other. Okay.
Oh no, who has the more potential to have heart attack, the bunny or Soren?
Oh, hello. The bunny has more potential to have a heart attack. Hi. You want to say hi to the internet? You want to say hi to the internet? Hi, internet.
Hi, buddy.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Soren,
Persistence is a real family trait.
you're so cute. You're so cute.
He's been especially snuggly lately.
I mean, it's fall. Who can blame him?
Yeah.
It's probably getting cold.
It is. We were 80 degrees earlier in the week, and now we're down to 60s and 50s. So
I mean,
it's not really cold, but it's starting.
Interestingly, usually Hedda doesn't allow anyone to sleep in the bed with us except for Hedda. But now she's actually allowed the boys to come sleep with us. As long as they stay on Vol's side of the bed, if they try to encroach my side of the bed, then she gets antsy and drives them away.
The quail are fine. I don't know that they will last through the winter because it's hard on them up here. The chickens are doing great and like loving life. So that's
Do you have plans? Do you have plans to like move the quail indoors for the winter?
I might, but there isn't really a good setup that I have for them, so they might just go to freezer camp.
What's freezer camp?
My freezer.
What?
My freezer. I'm sorry. Oh no, I broke Rhea.
Oh no.
Joe, I don't think that Bree's gonna get a cow, but just wait, she might get a goat very soon.
Oh my god. One day.
What
A goat's on my list, but I need like an additional acre of land before I can even think about bringing a goat
You
on.
need sheep. Sheep
I
are best.
need even more land.
But so what you can do with a goat is like hire it out to be a natural lawnmower.
Oh, I wish there was one of those in my area.
There
I was
actually
thinking-
are some in the Twin Cities.
I was
You
thinking that
Land of the hippie.
Bree should just establish an alpaca farm.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if I've told you this. The bunny is an Angora. So I have, if anybody that we know and love is interested in learning how to spin, I have about 3 years worth of Angora rabbit fiber.
Or is this the universe telling you that you should get a spinning wheel and learn how to use it?
Oh my God, I would love to get a spinning wheel, but I'd have to take a class first because I wouldn't be
Spinning
very
wheels
confident.
are actually very easy to use. Like my mom used to like. So my mom's cousin had a sheep farm, so
Yeah.
we would always get like excess wool that they didn't need. So my mom would make her own yarn for like most of my childhood. So at some point when you're using the spinning wheel, it's easier if you have another set of hands. So I would always like be there, basically balling the yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the drafting bit where you have to draft it before you spin it?
Yes. Also, Shannon, I do know about farm life. I just am more familiar with dairy farming because I grew up on a dairy farm. Chickens and birds, not as much experience.
Oh, Soren is falling. He's falling.
No.
Goodbye. Are you going to go play? No, you're just going to sit underfoot, literally underfoot. Okay.
Poor Soren. Where's Wooly?
She's probably laying on her cat stand right now, which is fine. She's a much more she's lower maintenance than Soren for sure.
Soren just always wants love.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm actually a little concerned about how quiet Luke has been, because normally he's either normally he would either be in the guest bedroom window or on the back of the couch, and I don't know where he is, and it's making me nervous. Because it's more that even though I'm pretty sure I didn't lock him in my closet, I might have.
One time, so my partner Zach and I went to the movies once. Before that, I'd like taken some stuff out to clean it and everything got put away. And we get back from the movies and it's really quiet. And I just hear the saddest from the cleaning closet. And I open up it, Soren runs out. And Zach, who had put everything away, went, "Oh no."
So I have a similar story about Tesla. Before we got MOSFET, like my family came over for Christmas, and my mom, she used to smoke, but we don't allow for people to smoke on our balcony. So I would just ask her to go outside, and she would go outside for a smoke and didn't really watch the the front door. And then she came back, and we started noticing that Hedda is so playful now. Like she's like moving around the flat super freely and like playing everywhere. And we were like, wow, that's so interesting. Like, why does she do that? And it was like at least an hour, and then we were like, okay, now we need to feed the cats. And we couldn't find Tesla anywhere. And I was just like banging on the little like cat food tin. And then I started hearing the most sad meow behind the front door because my mom had locked him out of the apartment and he had spent the entire hour in the like staircase thing. The
stairwell?
Yeah.
Poor little bud.
I was like, well, that explains why Hedda was like so happy. She was like living the best life.
I do occasionally accidentally leave my dog in the basement because like I go downstairs to do my laundry and the dog sometimes follows me, but I don't always hear her because she's like super quiet. And when I come upstairs, I shut the door the thing about my dog is that she never makes any sound when she wants to come inside. And there was one day where I couldn't find her anywhere. Couldn't hear her. I kept yelling her name, and I thought she had gotten outside. So I literally like ran all the way around the block, and I was like, oh my God, my dog has disappeared. And I come back inside, and I open up the basement door, and she's just standing there. She's just sitting there looking at me. Like,
I knew
she was there for like an hour while I was running around, yelling for her, and she never made a peep.
Ava's like, I knew you'd come for me eventually, mother.
Yeah. But yeah, Luke is always trying to get into my bedroom closet, which is why, like, that is my fear that one day I will, like, he'll actually sneak in when I'm not looking, and I'll lock him in.
I mean, the closets are the best place for a cat to be. So many clean clothes to defile.
So tangent and absolutely unrelated. I'm super excited because it's like not even 2 weeks until we get The Haunting of Bly Manor. And Turn of the Screw is one of my favorite horror novels ever.
I don't know what this is. Tell me more.
Me neither.
Okay, so did you wind up watching Haunting of Hill House last year or the year before?
No.
I don't do horror, so.
I'm too much of a wuss.
I thought about watching it, but just not by myself.
It's fantastic, and it's not like a jump scare show, really. It's, it's based off of Shirley Jackson's horror novel, which is kind of much more quietly paced than that. But Turn of the Screw is by Henry James. It's an older, like, gothic horror. He was a contemporary of, was he an Austen contemporary?
No, he's much later. He's, I would say, latter part of the 19th century. He wrote, I've read his he wrote The Bostonians.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting novel.
So Turn of the Screw, it's a really short novel, and the entire premise is it's a young woman who's an orphan. It's, kind of evoking some Jane Eyre stuff. She goes to work as a governess with kind of these like highfalutin hopes of like falling in love with the man who like runs the place and all that kind of jazz. And the two kids are creepy. She starts seeing ghosts. She doesn't get a name throughout the entirety of the book. It's just like this super anonymous, super kind of atmospheric novel. I think I read it in high school the first time.
It's a little bit like Rebecca.
Yeah, a little bit. There was kind of this entire push to kind of make fun of that genre of like contemporary fiction. The like goes as a governess and like falls in love kind of story. And so it's one of my favorites. And the people who did Haunting of Hill House are doing Bly Manor. And I'm so excited. I can hardly stand it. It's out on the 9th. I'm super excited for it.
Speaking of television and series, I started watching Blown Away because it's finally on Netflix, and it's about glass blowing. It's a glass blowing competition, and it's so wholesome.
Yeah, it's really, I like it. I saw it last summer, and I really liked it because, I saw it. I can't remember. Time is a construct. Like, anyway, I like it because it's very much competence porn as reality TV, because like these people have to be good at what they do because glassblowing is just so fraught. And the episodes are also shorter, so you don't get like a lot of drama outside of people being like, oh, that's such a interesting design choice. And so
Or
it's like
breaking stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
so
this
it's like
is exactly the kind of thing I want.
Brie, it's on Netflix. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for like wholesome
It's so
competition.
wholesome. And it's also like if you're like me and you have like executive dysfunction when it comes to failure and that like whole concept of like you can't start things because what if you fail, that's like the perfect show to get you out of that, because it's like a bunch of people breaking shit and having to start all over again, and it's like, okay, well, it's just this happens, okay, move on next. And it's like it's very good. I've started watching like one episode at lunch and then working on my thesis. It's actually gotten me to do something.
I was going to sign up for a glass blowing class right before the pandemic hit. So
I think it looks so cool. I've seen some of like the historical glass blowing techniques on Time Team, and I'm like, it looks so cool and so dangerous
And so difficult. Like fun fact, I used to be in a forum-based role-playing game that was based on Avatar: The Last Airbender prior to The Legend of Korra. So it was basically set just before Korra arrives in Republic City, and my character in that game was a non-bender who was a glass blower. And I watched so many videos and so many documentaries on glass blowing to get her right. And then when I was watching Blown Away, I was like, yeah, I didn't get her right at all. Nope. Like my representation of glass blowing as an art form was not well told in that role playing game.
Okay, we tried.
He has two phases when I'm knitting. Give me all of the attention or asleep in your lap. One of them is better for knitting than the other.
Well, there's that guy.
He looks like he's just sitting there with grump face, like.
Yeah, he has a resting grump face. He's a very jovial man. He's very like mellow and good tempered, but every time I take a picture of him and show him around, he just looks like fed up with everything and mad. He's like the most easygoing cat I've ever met in my life.
That's good.
I realized I haven't talked about what I'm reading yet. We got to
What are you reading, Di?
I finished Palo Santiago and the River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. So I'm trying to do the Latinx book bingo.
Oh.
And that one was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Not quite as gay as some of Mejia's other works, but I'm pretty sure that one of Paolo's friends is at least queer. And I'm also starting to read Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdez. I've been distracted with Dragon Age, so I haven't gotten too far into it.
Is that the one with the space cats?
Yes, they're psychic cats.
The psychic space cats, which don't appear for very long, unfortunately. I was a bit sad about that.
More psychic space cats.
And then I'm also reading, let me see if I can, I always forget the title of it because it is, oh my God, Goodreads is being very, very slow. I want to say it is All the Devils Are Here, The Hidden History of the Financial Crisis. It's by the same people who or one of the same authors of the Enron book I was reading last time. And it basically talks about, like, it goes into the history of like subprime mortgages and derivatives and just like talking about all the various actors who had a role to play in the 2007-2008 financial crisis. And it's very dense, like the Enron book, but it's also very interesting. And it really hammers home the fact that economics and Wall Street are essentially astronomy for men. Because no one knows, like everyone's like, oh, I have all this theories and like this is just going to make me rich, and no one like actually grounds it in reality. And they're like, oh no, the market will solve, and then the market doesn't solve, the market collapses. They're like, oh, but like my money, and it's like, yeah,
Astrology, yeah.
It is astrology for men, but with worse outcomes.
Please stop squirming.
This MOSFET, yeah, right?
Yes. Ah, no, not my collarbone.
Let's see. Oh, somebody's asking, KJ is asking about Lona Holmes, if anybody watched it.
I watched Enola yesterday, actually.
Is it a movie or a TV
It's
show?
It's a movie.
I thought it was a TV show as well. I was a little bit disappointed it was just a movie, but it was really fun. It's like, don't take it super seriously, but it's fun.
I honestly, here's the thing. I can't, like, anything that has Sherlock Holmes in it should not be taken too seriously, and that is one of the reasons why I despise the Moffat BBC adaptation, because it looks at Sherlock Holmes and is like, yup.
Did you watch, Rhea, did you watch Knives Out?
No, I haven't seen that.
If you like a goofy, is it not available for you?
Yeah, it hasn't been available in Finland yet. Because
Okay,
like, they were gonna show it in cinema, and then the thing happened, and
that like
that went out the window.
Yeah, the like detective who solves everything, but like you don't take it too seriously. That's entirely the vibes of Knives Out, and I love it.
I really need to watch that.
I mean, to be honest, I want to watch Knives Out just for Chris Evans's cable knit
Sweaters.
Yeah.
Someone on Ravelry was gonna do the cable knit sweaters. I need to look it up.
I saw people were sharing patterns like, I think this is really similar to it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because when the movie came out, there was this huge article about these fishermen sweaters that are very particular to our certain part in northern Finland that were actually commissioned for like one like movie, and I was wondering if that was the movie.
Oh my
like
gosh!
If some of their shirts were commissioned for that movie, because they have this like it's similar to like the Irish fisherman sweater tradition, where they would recognize the fisherman from the
sweater.
Yeah. In case
so I can't find a specific pattern, but there's a woman who has definitely actually reconstructed the entire thing based off of a bunch of knitted cable motifs.
I swear, people who can re-engineer and reverse engineer shit from just watching pictures and screenshots,
it's amazing.
Are sorcerers. And I mean, I've had to do that when I worked in when I did my job internship for fashion school in a theater. We had to do that, but it's so difficult. It's so hard.
So
it's definitely a skill that.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Oh my god, is that knit flat?
Yeah, she knit it flat. So you'd piece it together, but right. It looks perfect. It looks perfect.
Wow.
Put it in the chat too, so people can see.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, I agree, KJ. The Enola Holmes movie, it went on a little bit too long. There was some like bit of kind of weird pacing, flipping back and forth between the storylines, and I was like, okay, are we gonna end yet?
Okay,
my thing with it is it's perfectly fine for that like genre of like this is fan fiction, but we're going to take it a little seriously. And it's especially for like the age that I think it's trying to target with Millie Bobby Brown.
Early young adult.
I have to say, I've never seen her in anything else except that and Stranger Things, and I would love to see her do more comedy. The thing that made that movie for me, where the fourth wall breaks, I was like, that's just great.
I was like, this may be very specific to a specific timeline, but has any of you ever watched this Canadian series called Shirley Holmes?
No.
It was basically a series about Sherlock Holmes's like great granddaughter or something, and she would like find Sherlock Holmes's diaries and notes in an attic, and then she would start like solving these mysteries that were happening at her own school. And they were like when I was watching it back when I was in elementary school, I was like, oh my god, this is like super high stakes, like super high stakes, when it was really like high school drama. And not actually like murder. It was like, who stole this popular girl's diary and released all her like sordid secrets around the school. And that was basically,
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's pretty high enough stakes for me.
But it was so interesting. Like I used to love that show. Another show that I really loved was this like, I don't know, like it was on BBC, and it was about this school, and there was a principal at the school, and the principal was evil because he was an alien. And like, I don't remember what was happening, but he was sort of testing the children to see which one of them were the smartest, and then the smartest ones would get sent to like some sort of experimentation or something. And then the main character figures out that the principal is in fact an alien and needs to be stopped.
Based off of like Bruce Coville's My Teacher is an Alien or something. That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We lost Rhea.
I know.
It made me think of, did anybody else watch a lot of Disney Channel original movies?
No.
And there's the one where your stepsister is an alien and she turns into a bubble at the end.
Literally the only, so I didn't have cable growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I only would watch stuff at my dad's house. And so the only ones I remember seeing are the one with baby Brie Larson, where she's a drag racer.
Yeah.
And I think we saw the Cheetah Girls and Cadet Kelly. Cadet Kelly was very formative and very gay.
Oh my god, I've actually seen Cadet Kelly, which is weird. I wonder where I saw it, because when I was growing up, we didn't have TV. So where did I see that?
Yeah, I don't know, but like I distinctly remember Cadet Kelly, and like looking back, I'm like, I know they like were trying to make it straight, but also like it was very
super gay. Yeah.
But yeah, the one with baby Brie Larson, I think it's on Disney Plus, and I'm like kind of tempted to watch it because like I don't remember it. Oh no, the other Disney Channel original movie I remember watching is the one with the twins who are basketball players, and the episode ends when they're in the WNBA.
I remember that one.
The only reason we watched that one, and that one I actually watched with my mom's because we found the DVD or VHS on rental, was because we were WNBA fans. And we ended up screening it because we used the council we were in had a partnership with our WNBA team at the time where you would like go to a game and like have a special clinic and then have a sleepover at the arena. And
Oh,
so
that's
they
cool.
show the movie at the sleepover.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, those are like the only ones I distinctly remember seeing.
No, don't flip the wrong way. Oh, I've been meaning to ask. Oh, Rhea, are you talking?
We can't hear you.
Do you want to try going out and coming back in? Kathy Hay put up another video about the peacock dress. She's got the samples made.
Oh, I need to go watch that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Like because it threw me out earlier, and then
Yeah.
I came back on, and it had defaulted once again to a different mic that isn't even on right now. So
Yeah. Sounds right. Sounds like technology issues.
yes.
But yeah, Kathy Hay put up another peacock video dress or dress.
Yeah, I
peacock
saw
dress.
that. It was so nice.
Between that,
that whole project, I haven't been following the videos, but
there aren't a ton of them, which is actually kind of nice.
And I think you can also jump in at
Wherever.
any point, because I've only seen like 2 of the videos now and the new one. So I think 3. And because she goes over, like, because there was this huge gap between her working on the project and stuff. So.
And there's been a lot more focus, especially in this one. There was a lot of focus on trying to figure out the
Original embroiderers.
Yeah, the original Indian embroiderers that worked on the original peacock dress. And like giving a name to that, because it's, you know, not really popularized. The other thing that I need to watch is I need to catch up on Rachel Maxey's new videos.
I mean,
I little love her.
I mean, I love Rachel Max. Like she like I want to be inside her brain. Like I want to live inside her brain. But I also get slightly uncomfortable by the fact that she never like understitches any of her seams. So you can always, like, when she flips a color or something, you can always see it kind of peeking through. And as a former professional, that always makes me like, I can't.
I personally admire that she just jumps into sewing projects and learns as she goes, because I'm like, yeah, I'm a perfectionist and I don't want to start until I've learned every little thing, because I'm terrified of getting it wrong. And she's
same.
like, we're gonna make it up as we go along.
You see her doing the strawberry dress but Halloween?
Yeah, I really like that one, actually.
I did too.
Yes. I also like,
even if it looked incredibly itchy.
oh, for sure, because she was using like this polyester taffeta that's like,
yeah, and all I could think of when she was wearing it was
I swear, if you would light that dress on fire, it would just melt into like this plastic blob. But it was cool. But like, I have thoughts about the whole strawberry dress debate and the whole thing, because I feel that the whole discourse around the strawberry dress really highlights how our society has become acclimatized to fast fashion and constant need to getting a lot of things for cheap, because people are getting so fixated on the fact that this dress costs $490. Guess what? $490 is not an expensive dress when you consider that the designer offers alterations to fit to your size free of charge at the cost of the dress. and also like she is purposefully sourcing her sewing team from Europe and not from, like, she's actually like paying living wages to her employees, etc., etc.
Part of it is also like the idea of buying anything handmade for cheap is interesting to me as somebody who's like really tried to spend the last couple of years building up some of those hand making techniques and skills.
It's very interesting because I've noticed this thing that there's a lot of people, like, for example, when I went to fashion school, there were a lot of people in my class who, when they came to school, were like appalled about how much fabric costs and about how much things cost to make because they should be cheaper. And then they studied and made the things for 4 years, and then everyone got out of school and was like, yeah, this makes complete sense because it actually takes a lot of time to draft a pattern, fit it, and then modify it for various different sizes to grade it, etc., etc. So
something about the value of labor.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you guys all going to be reading after your next read?
I like never dress up. I always get, it's not something that I ever like really got into, and I also don't really feel like buying stuff, and I don't have enough things that like I could throw something together. So
I mean, I have basically now fixed Volt's pants about 7 times each, because each time they start fraying and breaking, I have to fix them. So I think that I've bought new life for his jeans, at least, like, because the first fray started happening when it was like when he had worn them for like a year, and now it's like the oldest ones are like 3 years. So I think I've actually bought 2 years worth of life on those pants just by continuously patching them up.
I sound like resurrected zombie pants.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And at this stage, I don't even, like, when I patch them up, I don't even care to see if the fabric I'm using is the same color.
Visible mending.
It's like whatever. If they're gonna look like circus pants, that's fine. At least he's not going out naked.
Basically.
I don't think I'm gonna dress up for Halloween because I don't do costumes. I don't do that sort of thing. But I'm thinking that I should get this skirt done, and I have my balloon cardigan done, and I need to find a top to go under it. And then I might have a pseudo historical thing to wear, and maybe I'll buy those Camille boots.
Oh my gosh,
yes, do it.
But we should also just get you a hat. We'll get you like a witch hat, and that's all you need.
I am so not a hat person.
I am very much not a hat person.
I mean, if I can't make my witch hat in time, I'm just gonna wear my fascinator again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up some one-way trick-or-treat bags for the kids in my neighborhood. So it would just be a bowl with like a little like snack bag in it, and they could take that and wipe down the snack bag and go about their day so they can still have something. I have 2 goals in mind for my costume. One is I could finish my Sophie Hatter dress, like actually put that together. Or I have chicken wire and I've been doing. I have even planned out on paper. I have plans to make a giant Goomba outfit from the Goombas in Paper Mario Origami King, where they're like giant paper mache Goombas.
Oh my god!
I don't know what this is. I need a picture.
So Paper Mario did the latest Paper Mario is Origami King, and so some of the characters are origami.
Okay.
And so they're like 3D. Let me see here if I can find a picture.
If you're ever gonna play any Mario games, the Paper Mario games are the cream of the crop.
Okay, Joey said I should be Rapunzel because of my hair. Maybe I should do like dark academia Rapunzel.
Yes.
I would live for that.
So here's the Paper Mario Goomba. And so I'd make all of this out of chicken wire with paper mache.
Wow. Okay.
It's a paper mache Goomba.
I have all of the supplies. It's a matter of deciding if I have the energy to tackle all of the chicken wire and like push it into shape.
Yeah, that's gonna be a journey.
I'm committed to doing it because I figured next year for the local convention I can also wear it.
By the way, when will you dress up your house with like those chicken legs?
Yeah, that's
you should do like big chicken legs so that it looks like your house is sitting on the ground.
Yeah, I have to figure out what I'm basically waiting for is for enough of those, like, you know, the collapsible like cat tunnels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for enough of those to go on sale that I can use those to make the legs, because then I can collapse them and store it in my garage easy.
That makes sense.
Meg, I could totally dress up as a librarian. I just walk over to my mom's house and say, "Give me some of your handmade skirts," because that is what my mother wore to work.
I mean,
every day for 35 years as a librarian.
As a librarian, the only thing you need is for your glasses to have that chain so that you can have them around your neck.
I used to have that.
See, I can't do that because then I can't see. So I can't put glasses around my. I can't do that. I have to be able to see.
I would need that, to be honest, because I always I put my glasses on a table somewhere and then I never find them, and then Volt comes over and it's like, "Where are your glasses?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then he has to find them because I can't be bothered. I make myself sound like I'm a 5-year-old in this household, and that is not far from the truth.
I was going to say, that is the case in my household. I am the 5-year-old in this house.
Yes. So
just a 5-year-old they let have a mortgage for some reason.
Oh, I feel that.
So, this Halloween, I am finally going to the official Kekri celebrations. They are hosting them in this castle fortress, so I'm going to watch how they burn the traditional Kekri buck, the goat, and stuff. So it's like a traditional Finnish pagan harvest festival. So
ooh, I like that.
I am happily going to go celebrate that. And Volt is not so happily going to join me and hopefully film stuff so that I can enjoy myself, and he can just be my filming mule.
I am going to the Ren Fair next weekend. Not the actual Ren Fair, because they're not hosting one like a big get together or anything, but they're doing a drive-through Ren Fair. And so I'm interested in seeing what that's going to be looking like. And they did, like, they put together specific for 2020 merch, which they do every year, but they must have changed it because now it's all the year of the plague with like a stylized plague doctor mask.
Oh my god, I need it.
I know. I saw it and I was like, I need that.
Oh my god, Brie. Speaking of plague doctors, I need to show this to you. I need to show this to you, and then you can show it to the entire
Okay.
chat, because I saw this amazing plague doctor plush doll.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so cute. I mean, look at that. It's so adorable. And it glows in the dark.
Oh, well, glow in the dark stuff. That's an easy way to win me over.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Here, I'm gonna drop it in the. I'll drop this adorable
Oh my god,
plushie
so it's
in the
like
chat.
a lantern bit that glows.
It's so amazing. I want it.
It's like, what if a plague doctor, but also maybe what if a penguin?
Oh my
Yes. But plague doctors basically are a little bit like penguins anyway.
Yes, it's so cute. Oh my god.
I did not know that I needed one until I saw that, and then I was like, I need one. There can be no question. Also, Andrea needs one, so that's why
Andrea definitely.
that's why I also linked it to Andrea. I was like, you need this. If you don't already have it, you need this.
Did Andrea get a COVID plushie yet?
No,
There's got to be a COVID.
But there is. She talked about it already.
I thought so. I thought I'd seen that.
There was a COVID plushie, and she was going to get it.
god, I could just see us when we're little old ladies and our grandchildren are like, why do you have a COVID-19 virus plushie? Why do you have all this plague doctor stuff? Well, back in my day in 2020, the year of the pandemic.
Because we needed to laugh or else we were going to break down sobbing.
But actually.
Yes. Accurate.
I am so close to starting the eyes on this. I'm so excited.
I'm trying to figure out how much more I want to do with this shawl. Because I think I'm getting close to the point where the pattern starts to bind off, but I still have a decent amount of yarn left. So I can probably go through the full pattern at least one more time.
I mean, how big is the shawl now?
Let me finish this setup row and I'll show you. It's a little difficult going right now because Luke's decided that he wants all the cuddles in the world.
I mean,
that's just flopped.
I would give Leia cuddles, except she's still hiding under my coffee table.
Tesla has just completely lost any sense of gravitas.
Yeah, this is a historical moment, and I hate the fact that we're living through it.
I also hate the fact that we're living through it.
Oh.
Heads up, Rachel. If you're interested, Simplicity patterns are still just $1.99 today at Joann's.
I'm also like wondering.
I'm so tempted.
Because I bought this skirt that's this really cool like circle skirt and stuff. And I was thinking that it would go so well with some American Duchess cherry Oxfords once I get the chance. And also a Gibson girl blouse.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited, but I want to practice my pin tucks before I do the Gibson girl because I want them to look real sharp on the Gibson girl blouse.
I want to do what's the word? I want to do the lace myself, like crocheted lace, because I saw the engineering knits. She did a Gibson girl blouse, and she used all. She made all the insertion lace. Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a Gibson girl blouse. She made the undergarments, and for that she made the insertion lace from crocheted lace that she made. So
Yeah.
I want to try that.
Who was it that Megan Donner did a video where she learned how to do needle lace? And somebody else taught her.
Marika taught her how to do it.
Yeah.
Enchanted Rose Costumes, I think is the channel name.
Yeah.
I've just basically been like going over all the costuming channels and just subscribe.
That has also been me.
Oh my god. So I'm still, I can't get over this. So COVID was running during Worldcon week, and so I didn't watch anything live because I was like, you know, watching 6 hours of Worldcon panels every day that week. But my parents watched almost everything from COVID live, and I swear, every time I go over to their house, my dad is like, so have you seen the video from this person so-and-so? Have you been watching Engineering Knits? Have you been watching this teenage Swedish girl who's been making things by hand? I'm like, why are you watching this?
More importantly, has your dad watched, I think it's Vicky D'Angelo or Vicky, like, anyway, there's a shoemaker in the costuming YouTube who does all her shoes herself.
He probably has. Like, that's the thing he'd be into.
And Meg, sorry to interrupt. Meg, you definitely need to learn to knit so that you can knit along with us next month.
Yes. Also, like, you can do easy projects. Like, for example, the thing that I'm making, it's just one, like, each stripe is 40 rows of just one knit. So you can start with something really simple, like a tea cozy or something. Like knitting doesn't have to be super involved if you don't want to at first.
And there's a reason why people start by knitting dishcloths.
Yeah. There's also a bunch of Harry Potter themed ones, if that's something you're into, and a bunch of I think there are some Terry Pratchett themed dishcloths on Ravelry.
Yay for Terry Pratchett. Let's not talk about Ixnay on the Hoppersnay.
What I will say about She Who Shall Not Be Named is that it's really screwing over a lot of the designers who've based a lot of their
work around
stuff on the Harry Potter universe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
All this wonderful imaginative stuff, and then they have to put notes on everything like, yeah, I don't support this or whatever. And
I don't support this, and also no money is going to that person, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It is also like I think, I mean, from a business standpoint, making stuff in an already established fandom, especially a huge one such as the Barry Trotter, like it makes it easier to get your name out there. People will be more inclined to buy your stuff because they already know the characters, etc. But at the same time, because of this whole thing, like it makes it hard for people when they have to distance themselves from like, the thing, because then it's like, oh shit, I screwed the pooch on that one. But how can you like? Yeah, well.
I think the one I've been looking at recently is Fable Knitwear. Is that what's called, Brie? Fable Knitwear?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. She's got like multiple design collections that are based on Harry Potter, and some of them maybe less obviously so, but she's the one I saw recently she had to go back through all of her old patterns, which are quite popular, and put notes on all of them and stuff. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's like that perfect balance of taking inspiration from this really popular world and putting her own twist on it and everything. But
the one who has that beautiful butter beer that's like the
yeah,
like that golden with the pinks.
yes.
Oh my god. I don't know if you can hear, but he's just like fallen over. And earlier he was just snoring. So you could hear this little like wheezing. Oh, oh. You're so adorable. Why are you like this?
I can't hear anything because it's still thundering like crazy outside.
Gosh.
The
I'm
ambience.
jealous. I want a thunderstorm so bad.
I
like thunderstorms in theory, but not in practice.
So we had a big thunderstorm after a week and a half long smoky apocalyptic night.
Oh yeah.
We did get a really big thunderstorm, and we were playing virtual D&D, and some of the people are in my town, and so like you could hear it travel because one person is like on the north end of town, and then me and the other people on the south end of town. So like sometimes you could hear it on our end first, and then you would hear it in our friend's place, and then we would hear it. It was wild.
Was
that you?
Holy shit. Yeah, Shannon, the orange skies were so gross and disgusting. Like,
yeah, I mean, the whole Blade Runner thing. Oof.
Oh yeah, no,
so
we
incredible and
felt
terrible.
the end of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anybody who needs some context, I live a 24-ish hour drive from the coast, and you could see smoke from where I am. Like, it was making our like sunsets haze real bad.
Yeah, my friends in DC were talking about the hazy sunshine. I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. I know sharing is caring, but not in this instance.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't be enjoying the rain so much right now because I found out I have a leak in my roof, and I can't get the roofing company to call me back.
Oh.
It's a little bit annoying.
Little bit. A leak is a lot. Hopefully it's not a big.
The relatively good thing is that it's a leak that goes down my chimney stack, and it doesn't actually seem to really damage anything, especially right now. It goes straight down into my basement, and it pools in my basement. So.
Okay. Ron is saying that they had hazy skies where he is in Vermont.
Oh my.
For context, where is Vermont? Is it a state or a town?
Vermont is a state. It is. Do you know where Boston? Like, have a vague sense of where Boston is?
Is Boston near Chicago?
No. Boston is about 4 or 5 hours from New York.
Oh, so it's in the same coast as New York.
Yes.
Okay, then I have a vague idea.
Basically, Vermont is all the way across the continent from where the fires were happening.
I mean, this reminds me of last year when Shannon and Shush were trying to explain to me, like DC in relation to Seattle and everyone, and I was just completely missing the mark constantly. Like, oh, I know that state, that's there, and they were like, no, just no. But I know where Florida is, because that's the state that's shaped like a gun.
The most American thing ever.
I mean, I say this with much love for my friends who live in Florida, but that's also like very accurate.
On brand.
Yeah, I feel like living in, like, especially having lived in the West Coast, my sense of scale is completely distorted because I'm like, oh yeah, 2.5 hour one-way trip, that's totally fine. Like, you can easily drive down there and like spend the day and then go back. And then I'll say that to some people who are like in the UK or who are more on the like that in New England, and they're like, that's so far for a day trip.
I know the Midwest is the same way.
I mean, you could like, it's so weird because you could tell me to point to a map of Europe and Asia and like name countries in Asia and Europe and also South America, and I would be like, yeah, that's like Montenegro is over there, Kosovo is over there, Serbia is over there. Fine. Ask me to name any state in the United States and point to where it actually is, or a province in Canada, and I'll be like,
I live here and I don't know where all the states are.
that wasn't in the curriculum.
It's okay.
Like, did any of you have like those tests in like elementary school where you would have like like you would get like a blank map in front of you and you would have to name the countries and whatever. Yeah, we had those like for Europe, for Asia, for South America, and Africa.
Oh, that's not a thing here.
We're
lucky if you do the states.
I did those for fun. Like there is a time in undergrad when I was doing the Sporkle test and I could actually like name all the countries of the world because I was very bored in class.
I mean, I do it for fun nowadays because I like back when I was a kid and that was stuff that you had to do at school. Like we had that in elementary school.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing? Sorry,
Which
Luke.
buddy? Is it Luke or Leia?
Luke, Leia's still under the coffee table.
Leia, come play.
Show yourself.
It's hard to get her out from under the coffee table, which is why I think she likes it.
Yeah, sounds right.
Hedda always makes a huge fuss if I try to lift her and carry her somewhere I want, and she will just start crying and screaming like, no, I will not be manhandled in this way.
Yeah. Luke is more squirmy than Leia when I try and pick him up. I think Leia's just kind of resigned herself to at times being like, I am chonky and soft, so I will get picked up.
Oh man.
It's a real feeling.
That's the fate of the chonks.
Yeah. But again, like Luke eats more than she does, I think, because like if I put down wet food for both of them, he'll like go after it and then he like just doesn't gain weight. He's svelte. Hi, buddy.
I mean, I sometimes get a little bit scared that Mospet is like gaining huge amounts of weight, but he's just big. Like he's not only like dense and a chunk, but he's also tall. Like he's the biggest cat we have.
He always looks long and skinny to me.
Yeah, but he is like long and skinny, but he weighs a ton. He's like dense. He's built like a bodybuilder.
He's all muscle.
Yeah.
If I get this hem done today, I'm going to buy those shoes. I'm going to reward myself.
Yes.
I'm pro this after this.
I'm going to put a button on, figure out how to do a button again, and I'm going to buy those shoes. Oh my goodness. This is actually quite enjoyable to do. Like I've really surprised myself with sewing that like using a sewing machine, that's fine. I've gotten used to it again. But everything I've really liked doing has been the hand sewing part.
That doesn't surprise me. That's the part that I would think you would like a lot.
I guess.
I mean, I personally, like, the thing that I love most about any sewing project is drafting patterns. And that's the thing that most people hate. Most people hate drafting patterns and doing mock-ups. but I find that to be the most enjoyable.
You're done?
No, almost. I thought I was halfway done, and I only have that much left to do. Wow.
Once you're finished, remember to iron. No work is finished until you have ironed it.
Yes, I will be doing that. And I got a pressing cloth. I think I told you that.
Ooh,
I actually went out
fancy
and-
pants.
My mom was texting me. She's like, "Do not put an iron on your wool fabric; it will get shiny."
Yeah, don't. Like if you want, here's the thing. Like if you want to, like if you don't have a pressing cloth, you can actually cheat and use one of those sheets of paper that you use to put pizza in the oven. Like you know
like
that.
parchment paper,
Yeah, the baking sheet. Yeah.
baking paper. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
You can cheat using baking sheets or pattern paper like the silk paper.
My mom said I could use like one of those plain white tea towels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use those too.
Which
Basically, any type of clean, natural fibers.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably ones that don't have color.
Yeah.
Rachel, are you gonna post yours onto Vollenvine's make along?
I was thinking about it. I don't know. I get so like shy about like joining make-alongs.
Same.
Like all I have to do is post a picture.
Like I was thinking about, because I've been watching people's sewing vlogs, and I was like, maybe I should start doing like sewing vlogs as well. Maybe if I had a sewing vlog going on, then like I would be motivated to actually sew stuff. But then I get so anxious about people outside of BookTube finding me and judging me for my sewing skills.
I mean,
Same.
CosTube seems pretty nice.
Oh, by the way, I need to show this to everyone because I was so proud,
Okay.
immensely proud. Content warnings for body horror.
Okay.
This one.
Ooh. That looks pretty good. Look at
What
you.
do you call this one? It's like of
The
Death.
Daughters of Death.
Yeah.
These are the 3 daughters.
Are
of the
you-
Daughters of Death.
Are you gonna put it in your print shop?
Yes. As soon as I find the motivation to scan, or like I have this stack of pieces that need to be scanned and color corrected and put into the print shop. But I like it's a thing. And I also have other things like some things that have more pressing priority.
Mm.
Like something for Brie for a project.
Oh, did you show the quote from Farscape?
Oh yeah.
Has anyone watched the new season of Great British Bake Off yet?
No.
It
Is it
is
good?
available.
Oh,
This
that's pretty. Are they like the spacey background?
I am unimpressed by your masculine reveries.
Yes, I'm hoping to actually put this in like once I get it color corrected and stuff. I'm hoping to put it on Teespring. So if anyone wants it, then you can like get it on a t-shirt or a tank top or whatever.
I really dislike Matt Lucas. I think hiring him as a host was a mistake. I miss Mel and Sue a lot. But the new cast is very delightful. And the Showstopper challenge is like right out of Nailed It, which is kind of because like tonally Nailed It and Great British Bake Off are very different. But the Showstopper challenge was like make a bust or like make a bust of a famous person or like someone you admire. And like as soon as they said it, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be terrible. I'm so excited.
I saw screenshots of the attempts on Twitter, and I was like, is this what the Great British Bake Off is about? Because I was thinking you'd see those kinds of cakes in like Nailed It.
Yeah, and like I understand that they wanted to do something different with their showstopper, but I don't think that this was necessary, like design-wise, the best way to show how people work. And
right?
Yeah, I think they've done better like design, like showstopper for Cake Week in the past, but it was very funny. And like I said, I do like the new cast of contestants. I think they, like for the most part, are pretty delightful.
Have you seen anything by Christine McDonald?
I don't think I have.
She has a Netflix
show on
show.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It has puppets.
It does. She's kind of like, she also has a YouTube channel, which is fantastic.
Okay.
But she's
like
kind of like, what if Guillermo del Toro and Martha Stewart had a baby?
Yes.
That is a great description.
Wow.
That is her entire aesthetic and purpose in life.
I must have missed this. Did Great British Bake Off change all the hosts or something?
So Sandy left and they hired Matt Lucas to replace her. Because, you know, getting another woman was too much for Channel 4. Anyway, not that I'm bitter about that. But it's less, I think Prue is finally like carving out her own space, because that was my main, and I mean, it's only the first episode of the new season, so we'll see how this goes. But like one of my big problems with the move to Channel 4 and getting rid of Mary Berry is like Paul just takes up so much space now in like
I could never warm up to Prue or to Sandy. I stopped watching because I just didn't care for either of them.
I don't mind Prue and I enjoyed Sandy, but I really disliked how tonally it felt like it was becoming the Paul Hollywood show. But it's doing better, so like it felt better, like a better balance, but again, we will see. I really miss the BBC era though.
Yeah. I thought I had to give that another shot. It's been a while since I tried to watch it.
Yeah, it just tonally it does feel different. So just like know that going, it feels less intentionally kind. Like it's still a very soothing show, but it definitely felt like it lost some of the Mel and Sue cursing or saying brand names to make the footage unusable during certain times. Like there was a segment in this episode that happened where I feel like had Mel and Sue been there, some of the footage that they showed would not have been showed, because Mel and Sue, like I said, would have either started saying curse words or saying brand names.
Would she strategically sabotage the filming crew?
Well, what they would do is if a contestant started crying or was like really having a bad time, they would like stand near them and either start cursing or saying brand names, because they couldn't show that footage. And so it was them protecting the contestants and making it so that certain things would not be showed if they felt like it would be like harmful for the contestant.
Yeah.
When I learned that about them, I was just like, that is the best thing ever. Just that made me love them so much.
That is a sense of humanity and empathy that is admirable in an entertainment person.
So we'll see how this season goes. I did find out though through a work webinar. So it was talking about how to discern bots on Twitter. And the person presenting was talking about a research project he'd done with co-teachers and students about a company where you would essentially buy followers. And Paul Hollywood, to no one's shock, had bought followers and then deleted his Twitter account when it came out.
Whoa.
And it was like the least shocking thing.
Fail. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I really wish American Netflix would get the Great Canadian Bake Off, though, because I've heard that's also a delight. And
I'm just sad that I can't get the Great British or Great Any Bake Off anywhere.
You should see, Rhea, if you can stream. It's called Face Off, not the movie. There's a movie called Face Off with, I think it's Nick Cage and
Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. I used to love that movie when I was a kid.
So there's a show called Face Off, and it's like, it's kind of modeled after like an American's Next Top Model or like a designer show like that.
Is it the thing where they paint people?
Yeah, they do like monster makeup.
Yeah, I think I've seen some episodes of that.
I love it.
Because I think that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel like I've watched every single one of the makeup or like I used to watch the Tattoo Master show, but that show actually gives me anxiety because I don't think I don't understand how they got the clients, okay? Like, because getting a tattoo, even if you don't assign any meaning for your tattoo, it's such a personal and
permanent.
Like, it's scarification. Like, you are getting a permanent fixture on your body, and sometimes the ink will not take, and sometimes you get allergic reactions and stuff like that. So, and then you put like so much trust into these tattoo artists who
you don't know their stuff.
You don't know their stuff. You don't know anything. You're randomly assigned to each of the people, and then they may fuck up royally. And I was like I remember when they had like the Star Wars episode where they had to make like Star Wars themed tattoos for Star Wars fans.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the tattoo itself was very skillfully executed, but I am not sure if I would want a full chest piece of a photorealistic Yoda on my like left breasticle.
I mean, I wouldn't, but
like it was the size of my head.
I know. The other show that I really love that is also just like very, it's like a competitive show, but it's not very like at each other's throats, is Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge. It only has one season, but they make Henson-esque puppets, and then the winner gets to go and work in the Henson studio.
Oh my God.
It's amazing, and like everybody's like real nice to one another for the most part, and like they get along, and like it's not about like being dramatic at each other. It's just about like who's doing what in what way.
My life.
I've watched it twice.
Netflix? Is it on Netflix?
It might be on Netflix. It might be on Amazon.
I gotta go look.
Not a reality or like not a competition show, but a show that I've been watching on Hulu that I've been really liking is Taste the Nation with Padma Lakshmi.
Oh yeah.
So she's the host of Top Chef, or one of the hosts of Top Chef. And it's basically her traveling around the US, and it's really the idea is, aside from Native Americans, America is basically a nation of immigrants, and so talking with people about their different food traditions. And so like in the first season, she goes to like South Carolina to talk with the Gullah-Geechee and learn like their food traditions. She goes to the border to talk about like Mexican and Mexican American food. She goes to the Southwest to talk with Apache and Navajo folks to talk about indigenous food traditions and ways that they're reclaiming their food culture. And so it's really interesting, and just like it kind of reminds me of Anthony Bourdain shows.
Oh.
Which I like. For me, those are very soothing. I really miss Tony Bourdain. And
Yeah.
so yeah, if you like that type of show where it's like a lot of traveling and talking with people and like learning about the cultures behind foods and like how they've adapted and changed over time, like she goes to the Bay Area, and the entire idea is like talking about how Chinese food evolved, and then how there are different like tradition, like pathways within Chinese food. Like there's the Chinese American food pathway, but then you also have people who are like wanting more like mainland China authentic Chinese food. And so like that was also really interesting.
I feel like
Ooh.
Oh, there she is.
Where's
Sorry,
her?
Leia. Hold on. Leia emerged. I need to go grab her.
Side note, I've always been a big Andy Zimmer fan.
Yeah. Look at her chubby little cheeks. She's like, how dare you, mother?
Someone has an
Oh, come.
Hi.
Who has the echo?
I don't think it's me.
It might be me.
I don't think it's. Is it me? Do I have the echo?
Maybe it's gone. It's very weird.
So this is probably a good time anyway, because we are at the 2-hour mark for us to wrap up. Let's go around table and say where people can find us. Rachel, you want to start?
Yes. Well, we didn't do intros today.
I know.
It's
We're a bit of a chaotic mess. It's okay.
Stick on this September, the chaotic edition.
I think at this point everybody knows us though. Anyway, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Colonati, and I am Colonati everywhere else, Twitter, Instagram. That's where I hang out. So, yep.
Yeah, I'm Raya from the channel The Bookfinch. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at The Bookfinch, and on Instagram at Finchkin, where I post stuff about my cats. Like, it used to be a Bookstagram account, but then now it's just a fat cat appreciation account. So,
Just we all need more of that in our lives. Let's not lie.
yes.
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Bookish Die.
And I'm Bree, and you can find me at YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram as Bree Reads Books. But thanks all for joining us, and we'll go ahead and end the stream. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.